Just do it.
Thank y'all for coming, like for real. Really thank y'all for coming so much. Y'all know how much this means to me. This is kind of scary and exciting and just kind of like, I don't know, I can't put it in words. I was thinking today, I was like, wow, people have my shit in their house. They're going to like leave it. That's kind of scary. They're on the toilet and stuff. That's kind of scary. Like, oh, I can't how I feel about that. So, I don't know. So I'm excited. But without further ado, I guess I'm going to start performing some pieces. I'll be taking requests if anybody wants to hear something in particular. But I'm going to start off. I'm going to open up with the Neighborhood Association. And this I can talk about poems too. This poem kind of came out of a conversation I had at Men Stopping Violence, an organization I do a lot of work with. It's kind of interesting. We always think about the things that when we come together as a community, the things that we decide to not police, and the things we do decide to police. And so this kind of poem comes out of that. Okay. The Neighborhood Association sent out a notice to 501 Marbury Pine Lane concerning that overrun Ford sitting in the front yard and those boards of wood being used as window frames. The body of the message read in bold, "Your address is in violation. Attend to the list of concerns immediately or face due fines or arbitration." The Neighborhood Association did not send out a notice, however, when Miss Gina Thompson, resident of 501 Marbury Pine Lane, was seen with a bleeding eye, blue and pink, placing those boards of wood in the window frame. No one remarked how the pieces of glass on the ground resembled the shards of glass visible in her teeth. No one questioned her husband's angry temperament, his bleeding knuckles, or violent speech. It was simply not the Neighborhood Association's agenda that evening. Their primary concern, growing sunflowers in the streets. The Neighborhood Association sent out a notice to 673 Cherry Lake Road. The grass hadn't been cut in weeks, and the siding on the roofs began to grow mold. The body of the message read in italics, "The Neighborhood Association will simply not have this. Attend to the list of concerns with due haste, or we will increase your monthly fines in allotted rates." The association did not send out a notice when Shanika Williams, resident of 673 Cherry Lake Road, after an evening date with Kenneth McCormick with a bloody skirt, walked her way home. See, that word called rape was just so loaded. And after all, wasn't Kenneth captain of the football team? The association sent out no notice of violation. Their primary concern that evening, cutting shrubbery and trees. This is a poem for those great neighborhood associations, or any silencing, suppressive, or fear-based organization that presumes that our pain can be cured with neatly trimmed lawns, or that a crisis of spirit in this country is not the root cause. This is a poem for the women in our communities who die at the hands of men daily, for the children who every second are sexually assaulted and touched, for the lesbians and gays who are shot dead in the pavements, while heterosexuals drive by silently in their Range Rovers and trucks. This is a poem for the hypocrites who foster hatred with their religion. Whether you're Buddhist, Muslim, Wiccan, or like most terrorists in this country, happen to call yourself a Christian. This is a poem for the community that our grandmothers taught, where we have a responsibility to look out for each other because ourselves and each other is all that we've got. This is a poem that says the countries are just false borders that divide the truth. That says that the Creator gave us all this earth, we have no right to deny anyone shelter, medicine, or food. This is a poem that makes healing its ultimate convocation and calls forth for the healing of the United States, the most troubled and disturbed of neighborhood associations. Oh.